Hello, everybody. For this assignment, I chose to do a presentation on the Power Elite model by C. Wright Mills. Um, Mills maintains that the United States is run by a power elite of corporation executives, military men, and politicians whose interests con- converge or coincide, and who are in a position to make decisions with terrible consequences for the underlying population of the world. This was by Rome in 1956. So the real world example that I chose was the Women Auxiliary Corps of the Army, and this was signed into law by President Roosevelt in 1942. In 1941, they weren't allowed to be a part of the army or join the army. Um, Out of all the women who entered the Army, it was Charity Adams who would be the first black woman to serve as a U.S. Army officer and lead the newly formed 688 Battalion, also known as the 688. And in 1944, the women were sent to England to alleviate the backing of mail that had accumulated over time as the fighting dragged on. There was around 7 million pieces of mail. This was believed to alleviate the troops' spirits. These women were discriminated upon. Segregation practices forced them to use separate drinking fountains or for colored soldiers, and male officers were known to make crude remarks. Sorters worked in blackout conditions with factory windows covered with dark paint to shield their presence from German forces. Eye strain became a common malady. They also worked in wintry conditions, and this would provide a challenge for these women. The warehouses, they didn't have any heaters, meaning the clerks had to wear ski pants, field jackets, and other items that were just trying to keep warm. Even though they worked in these conditions, these women were determined to reach their goal. And they all would work in rotation and 8-hour shifts every day of the week and quickly made progress. They actually made the progress within 3 months, half of the allotted time limit. The unit sorted more than 17 million letters, parcels, and erased the mail backlog, according to the Buffalo Soldier Educational and Historical Committee. And the 688 Battalion garnered little attention during and immediately after the war. No parade or ceremony feted their accomplishment. It would be almost 80 years until President Joe Biden would award the group the Congressional Medal of Honor in March 2022. And the lack of recognition experienced by these black women upon their return typified the general indifference and even hostility that black veterans generally received from the broader American public after the Second World War. Chiefess Domney Davis later said, but like their black male counterparts, the overseas experience of these women provided them with the extra motivation and determination to fight even harder against inequalities in their homeland. This was cited by Picardi in 2024. The theoretical perspective in the power elite theory with the sociological perspective argues that a small group of individuals considered the power elite hold concentrated power in society, primarily within the political, economic, and military spheres, significantly influencing major decisions and policies, while the majority of the population has little to no influence on these decisions, essentially posting that power is not widely distributed but concentrated at the top in the hands of a few elite groups. Some similar characteristics between the really world example and the power elite is that the 688 or all black female unit in World War II faced power dynamics primarily through systematic racism and sexism, experiencing significant discrimination and obstacles despite their crucial role in sorting and delivering mail to soldiers, often being relegated to poor working conditions, disregarded by superiors, and denied the recognition due to their achievements due to their race and their gender. Some of the social roles and positions and status. The 6 played a crucial social role by serving as the largest group of black women deployed overseas during World War II, managed postal services for U.S. troops in World War II, and the first and only black all-female unit in the Women's Army Corps WAC stationed in Europe during World War II. I hope you all enjoyed this presentation. I feel as though this would be a good real world example as to what the power elite model is or theory is. Um, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it.